from my side.
Thank you very much, Milan, for your presentation. So the next one on the list, the fifth presentation, will be given by Zoltan Zeleki from the Zeleki and Family and Company concerning the VASSAL project. Zoltan.
Hi everyone.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Just let me do.
We can hear you, see you, and we see your slides.
Okay, so you see my full screen slide.
Yes.
Perfect. Then I will start. So welcome
yes,
everyone. I'm Zoltan Seke, co-founder of Seke Family and Company, a startup operating in the area of space, security, and sustainability. What I would like to present you today is a virtual assistant for security awareness for Li-Fi users. Because usually we are doing the job to bridge the highly technical partners and highly technical solutions with everyday people, so we can do the transformation and they will become customers. Shortly about us, we founded the company in 2019 by merging our previous enterprises into a single family company. As private entrepreneurs, previously we were working for European Space Agency's Business Incubator Center and in the National Technology Transfer Initiative, as well as in multiple Horizon 2020 programs, while we raised around 20 million euros for our different customers. We are operating an innovation community. We have 86 companies as our members, more than 500 experts in our expert pool, and 500,000 followers on Hungary's most popular social media channel. We are a small team of 6 people. You see on the screen. Lily is the head of this project and the head of our space development. Balázs is our communications officer. Leonard is responsible for security, and Rennie is doing the logistics and assistance. So we're a small family company. The CEO is Orsolya. She is my wife. What problem do we solve? It is called the bottleneck problem. The European Space Agency and the EU is now developing a project codenamed Hydron, which is a fiber in the sky approach. They will build a constellation of satellites enabling optical wireless communication to ground stations. This is an unprecedented speed, but as soon as that particular information and connection reaches the ground, currently it has to be transformed into traditional network communication, and this creates a bottleneck. This slows it down. So our solution for the problem is that we're supposed to use Li-Fi to keep up the bandwidth and propose a visible light communication connection to the devices. Of course, this also means an immediate cybersecurity issue. Communicating with light and Li-Fi is kind of a new level of cybersecurity. We expect to have new protocols. We expect to have a bigger impact of any exploit or any hacking, because on a short range, the data transfer rate is extremely high. It is 100 gigabits per second. It has many advantages, like it's resistant to electromagnetic interference. It's able to transmit energy as well, not only information. It's a very resilient communication network without any bandwidth restrictions, which are now applying for radio communication. But once someone hacked with that into your system, it can download a terabyte Winchester in no time, in a matter of minutes. Not even the fastest firewall operator or the fastest cybersecurity person will be able to prevent considerable data loss in a matter of in moments. The technical standards on the left side are quite set. So now the market is ready to implement the Li-Fi. However, the cybersecurity part still has to be covered. So what we are developing together with our companies, and what also invite other companies to do is to make a complex product, which is privacy preserving virtual assistant for all those smart homes and small offices, because most of people will not participate in a cybersecurity training. Most people just want to sit in the in front of their computer or in front of their tablet and be safe and be secure. And so they need an active virtual assistant to tell them how to achieve this. These are the components of the assistant that provides alerts, training, risk analysis. It includes a shop and network supervision. What we're looking for, we are about to enter our Series A fundraising, looking for 350k euro funding or a venture engineering partner who is interested in a joint venture to put the product finally in the market. We need some additional expert advisor to refine the business model, because it's always easier for someone else who's outside to check out the business model and tell you the weaknesses and strengths. We're looking for manufacturers who can produce a network supervision unit, and in general, we're looking for companies, what we saw in the presentations, which are developing solutions, manufacturing or selling Li-Fi hardware. Also testing partners, just like Milan told us before, and of course, sales partners. We are a relatively small company, so we are looking for a great team to be among the first on this new market segment in cybersecurity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Zoltan, for your presentation. And then the next and last presentations to close this session will be the Waypoint project, presented by Nicola Trivelin and Alberto Baesso. The presentation will be done by Nicola, if I'm not wrong, from the Lightcube company in Italy.
Yes, hello, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Nicola. I think that you can share your slides now. And we can see Alberto as well. Good morning, Alberto.
Okay.
We can't hear you, Alberto.
Okay, can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see your slide. I don't know if Alberto would like to speak, but I think we can't hear him. Alberto, I think your microphone is off. Could you please turn it on? You have to click on the microphone icon, Alberto. Yes, we can hear you, Alberto, and we can hear Nicola as well. So it's up to you. Thank you.
I let Professor Trevelin to introduce our project.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. With this presentation, I would like to present the project which is being carried out by Waypoint and Lightcube in the Cybersecure Light Consortium framework. These two Italian companies are working together in a synergy to design innovative lighting systems. Waypoint is a lighting company with a philosophy strongly focused on innovation and sustainability, and it applies a circular economy structures into the lighting market. Lightcube instead is a spin-off of the University of Padova, which is working on the research, development, and design of solid-state lighting systems and optoelectronic systems. Myself, I am one of the manager of Lightcube, and I'm also a professor at University of Padova, working mainly in electronic engineering. So, okay, the aim of this project is the design of tunable spectrum LED light sources. As you know, tunable spectrums means that we are able to change the color temperature of the light, and the idea is to support the human-centric lighting solutions, which is a type of lighting that can benefit the biological, emotional, health, or well-being of people. This project will be carried out by means of ZigBee communication technology, since it offers many advantages. It has a low battery consumption, it has a low cost, low data rate with a maximum data rate of 250 kilobit per second, and it is quite easy to implement. It also supports several thousand of nodes, and ZigBee can automatically establish its own network, which can work independently and do not require and rely on a cloud connection, even for advanced features. Even if it can, by means of some bridges, it can connect with cloud networks outside, for example, to control your network from outside the ZigBee protocol. It is also pretty well established, since several big players of the market are actually compatible with the ZigBee communication, from Osram to Philips to Amazon and IKEA also. As well known, once we have a connected system, we can have cybersecurity issues. So while the security features provided by the ZigBee standard can be considered quite strong and robust, the main risk of a home automation system are the implementation failures and shortfalls. So therefore, it is essential for security to fulfill some preconditions on implementation side. For example, we need to carry out with careful a design regarding the device tampering, which is the actual key should be obtained simply from the device memory. So we need to design a tamper-resistant node, which could erase the sensitive information, including the security keys, in tampering, if tampering is detected. The key transport, so the default TC-Link key should not be used, since the key is considered in the public domain. Key establishment, key rotation, and so on. ZigBee systems are also configured and connected to cloud networks by means, for example, of Bluetooth or Wi-Fi communication standards, thus increasing the risk of an external attack. So even if the ZigBee is a closed network and it is actually a local network which put in connection the several nodes of our application, we might have some bridges which connect our ZigBee ecosystem into an external system, thus leading to external attacks. Therefore, we are looking for partners which can help us develop our project in the following aspects. In particular, into the development of hardware support for the establishment of safe ZigBee modules, the software support for the management of the network and security system itself, and finally, in the functionality and robustness testing of the project prototypes while working in a ZigBee standard platform, as some of the other speakers has carried out and described. Also, testing of the functionality and robustness of the network is crucial in this case. So I would like to thank you for your attention by Waypoint and Lightcube, and we are very open for any question regarding our project. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Nicolas, for your presentation, and also for your flexibility to turn it on live as you did it. Thank you very much.
No issue. We are living difficult times, but we need to be flexible.
Thank you very much, Nicolas. So I'm going to share my screen again. So now it's the time to the question and answer session. So you have seen the presentation from these six projects. So in case any one of the participants would like to ask questions to these companies, it's really the time to do it. You have the possibility to ask questions either in writings, but I think we have not seen anyone so far, or to raise your hand with the module on the right here, and the participant will be glad to answer to your questions. So is there any questions to be asked to these 6 projects regarding what has been presented so far, what their project request and so on? In case there are also interactions among the projects themselves, in case you find common synergies, it's also the right moment to ask this point. Marta, if you would like to add any point, it's also the right moment as well.
Thank you, Marielle. No, I think that you just said everything. I encourage participants to exchange their insights or to ask for some deep and clarifications from the presenters. I know that our coordinator, Alberto Soto, has some couple of questions, so I will leave the floor immediately to him.
Okay, thank you, Marta. I have a question, especially for Zoltan, VASSAL project, about Li-Fi, because now it's roughly 10 years that we are talking about this technology, and there's not still real many application on the market. So I'd like to know what is your time to market you think for your family or product you are thinking in the VASSAL project, and what about the implementation of the communication, the fiber communication via satellite that you mentioned in your project?
Well, thank you for the question. So to be honest, our original approach was that the virtual assistant will push to the market really quickly, but we had to abandon this idea because Li-Fi is looking to be on the same road like Wi-Fi was. You know, Wi-Fi was sitting 20 years on the market and as a technology before it got really hyped, and now it's everywhere. I expect that Li-Fi has to go through the same cycle, so I expect that we have 5 to 7 years before Li-Fi will really start to take over Wi-Fi. If the specific application issues are solved, just imagine if you're using continuously Li-Fi and you're using visible light, how you will have, I don't know, connection in the next room. So those old things has to be solved yet. For this, I would like to reflect on your other part of the question. We are part of the European Space Agency's Hydron Technology Demonstrator, where space companies, not us, but other space companies are working on very, very high-speed electro-optical connections and optical-to-optical connections, enabling the signal to be transmitted without loss of transfer. To be honest, at the moment, I cannot tell you more about that. One reason, because we are not too much involved in that part, and a second reason, that demonstrator isn't finished yet. So we are on work. What I can tell you that 10 years ago already there have been studies, and we are in connection with those companies, and academia did the studies on how to use Li-Fi on spacecrafts, either manned or unmanned, and the conclusions were a very, very key element in formulating our idea. So if you ask me about going to market, in case we can put together a good partnership and raise funding, we will need at least 2 years to have the first version of VASSAL available for download by users, and I expect another 2 years before we can really evangelize the market, to spread the word about our new product and really achieve a large volume of customers, because this is a long process. It won't be happen short. So at the original proposal, I think we were too over enthusiastic. Li-Fi can't go to the market that fast as we imagined at first. Did I answer your question?
Perfect, thank you. It was what I want to learn about that. I have another question for Professor Nicola Trivelin. I think he's online. The two Italian companies here, Network Group and Waypoint, are proposing solution with two different kind of protocols. And in this moment, many protocols are entering in the lighting market, because we are talking about Wi-Fi, Thread, Zigbee, LoRa in some cases, and so on. Do you think that the cybersecurity issue will push one protocol instead of others, or are technical reasons that are bringing more some protocols to be winner in the market, and there's not a very conscious approach to make the best choice in terms of cybersecurity on the protocols?
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, the basic idea is that in particular in the domotic market, we see now, let's say, a switch between a cabled domotic system and a more versatile wireless based system. And this was true up to, I would say, few years ago, only for let's say renovations of an already built building. Nowadays, also for new buildings, we start to see some wireless communications inside the domotic. So not only cable networks, but also wireless communications. Actually, several protocols are available, as you have rightly said. At the moment, the most promising are, I would say, Bluetooth, Zigbee, and Z-Wave. All of them have the possibility to work in a meshed network, and they all have the possibility to create what I call a local network, which can work in its own. I do not think that even if our project is focused on Zigbee, which I think is one of the most promising, mostly because it has been adopted by the big players, as I said in the presentation. So I believe that once Amazon, IKEA, and if in the future also the big player, for example, Google and Apple will adopt this kind of communication in their devices, they will pave the road for the adoption of this standard. Actually, as I was saying, they have the possibility to create a local network where you have a security key which is shared and changed inside the network. So the network itself, it is quite safe. So we have this encryption, which gives us a good safety cyber-wise. Unfortunately, there are several downfalls which are, I would say, horizontal in other kind of protocols, which are related to the implementation of the protocol itself. So we can lead the way to some security issues in the both hardware and software implementation of our systems. So, for example, one of the weakness in the Home Assistant point of view is the fact that we can force our Home Assistant to actually be tempered by for example, a light signal which can be modulated as our voice, and we can trick the we can take the microphones. So most Home Assistants, like for example Alexa, Echo, are equipped with micro electromechanical system microphones, which can be triggered by a visible signal. So it is possible to actually interact with this home assistance regardless of the protocols we are using. So I think that the cybersecurity issue is like horizontal in all these kind of protocols, and at the end I do not think the cybersecurity will favor one or the other, but it is an issue we need to take care for all of them. I hope this answers your question.
Yeah, Nicola, so what you're feeling, you think that mesh networks are safer from a cybersecurity point of view, or there's not really a rules about?
I think they are inherently safer. Okay, if we and I put myself inside the user or the let's say the user of the protocol or the manufacturer of the devices, we implement all the security aspects which are actually already present inside the protocol itself.
Okay.
Then we have some security issues once we open our, let's say, closed meshed network to the outside, for example, by means of a cloud connection, by means of home assistant devices, and so on. So we put more and more weaknesses as we open up the protocol toward, let's say, more advanced features or more advanced communication systems.
Okay, thank you very much, Nicola.
Thank you for the question, which was really interesting.
Thank you. I just have a final question to Milan Gabor, if just 1 minute for us to share. Milan, you talk a lot about cybersecurity aspects in lighting. I just a question if you really assist in your experience to strong hacker attack to lighting system up to now, or is something that you didn't notice really, or you're not reported by your customers and your experience?
On a large scale, we haven't seen the smart lighting systems to be attacked directly, but we have seen a lot of IoT devices which are used in botnets when they were attacking DNS systems in history. But since majority of those smart devices, they come with let's say default passwords, and user never change them. And I can tell this from our own experience when we were doing the penetration testing. We found in almost every case that there were IoT devices with default username settings, and that's a really easy job. But regarding the smart lightings, I haven't seen. But